Hi guys, welcome back. In today's video, I am sharing with you my February book haul. It is that time again. I have a stack of books to share with you. Quite a few things were sent to me this month by publishers that I'm excited to share. I also did purchase a few books for myself, and I got a couple of books for Valentine's Day from my wonderful husband. But first up, I wanted to share my picks for the February Book of the Month. If you guys don't know, I am an affiliate for Book of the Month Club. I was a member before I became an affiliate, and I really like what they offer. It's $15 a month, including shipping for a new release and sometimes early release hardcover. There are always 5 different options you can select from a variety of genres, and if you don't like any of the choices, you can skip the month. You can also add on up to 2 books a month for $10 each, and that includes their Book of the Month YA selections. As you will see, this month I chose to do that, and I paid $10 to add on one of their Book of the Month YA selections that I was interested in. If you guys are interested, I do have an affiliate link down below where I make a small commission if you sign up, and there should be a code down there that will get you your first book for $9.99 if you're interested. If you're not, no pressure. Let me get into my box and show you what I picked for this month. So, of the 5 adult selections this month, I picked Anna K by Jenny Lee. I actually had an arc of this and read and reviewed it and really liked it, and I thought it would be nice to have a hardcover copy. I am planning on going to a signing with the author, so I will be bringing this and getting it signed. And this is actually a perfect example of getting a new release hardcover. This does not release until March, but I got it in early February as a Book of the Month Club member, which is kind of cool. Anna K is, I would say, kind of more of a new adult retelling of Anna Karenina. It's technically YA, but definitely has quite a lot of mature content, so I think choosing this as one of their adult Book of the Month Club selections was not a terrible choice. I will say the first third of it is pretty dark and darker than I had anticipated, but I think the payoff is really good. She has amazing character development that happens throughout the book, and I was really quite a fan of it. If you guys are interested in hearing more of my thoughts on this book, I do have a complete Goodreads review, and my Goodreads is always linked down below if you want to check it out, but my pick from Book of the Month Club this month was Anna K, so very happy to have that. And as you can see, I have a shelf behind me of Book of the Month Club editions. I like how they all match. It's kind of fun. And then I also decided to add on another book for $10. This is Ashlords by Scott Rankin. This is one of their YA picks from January. Scott Rankin wrote the Nixia Triad, which I really loved, and this is the first in his newest series. Initially, I wasn't super interested because they had comped it to books that I didn't necessarily love, but then I saw the author in a little video actually talking about the plot, and I was like, oh wait, that sounds really interesting. Maybe I do want to read this, so I decided to pick up a copy. I think it's kind of set in space, but with some magical elements. It follows these elite riders who ride these horses made of ash in this competition that they train from, but there's like different colors of ash that make different horses, so there's strategy involved and like politics, and I don't know, it sounded really interesting, so I have that. There you go. Those are my 2 Book of the Month Club picks for this month. Again, if you're interested, link is down below. Probably unsurprisingly, I also have a couple of books that were sent to me this month from the Harlequin publicity team. I work with them quite a bit to promote books over on Instagram, and I have 3 books that arrived actually pretty recently, like a couple of days ago, so I still haven't taken pictures of these for Instagram yet, but I will be. They sent me The Amish Teacher's Dilemma by Patricia Davids. The Teacher Next Door Could Be the Mother They Need. This is like a little Amish romance. I read one other Amish romance by this author before and actually really enjoyed it, so I decided to sign up for that one because that sounded fun. And then I also have Revelations of a Secret Princess by Annie West. This also looked like a good time. This is part of their Harlequin Presents series. Both of these are coming out in March. This one follows a princess who had her daughter stolen from her at birth, and so now she's masquerading as a nanny to try to find her and get her back, and in the meantime falls in love with a handsome billionaire, so that sounds like fun. And then the final book that Harlequin sent to me this month is The Magnolia Sisters by Michelle Major. This one is a small town romance. It follows a woman who arrives in Magnolia, North Carolina to collect her inheritance, and while there meets a guy who is a single father and falls in love, and sounds like it'll be really great. So there you go. Those are the 3 books I got this month from Harlequin. Thank you so much to them for sending those my way. Again, if you want to see pictures of them on Instagram, they will be coming. For February, I also had one pre-order that came in, and this is actually a pre-order of a paperback edition. This was previously released as hardcover, and I decided I wanted to own it, but I wanted to wait for the paperback, and after seeing it, I'm very, very pleased with my choice. This is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. Can we just, does that show up? Like the shiny, glittery blue dragon? It's so pretty. I read this and really, really loved it, but if you have seen the hardcovers of these, they are a beast. And I was like, there's no way I'm gonna comfortably read a hardcover. So I decided I was gonna go ahead and wait and buy myself a copy when it came out in paperback. And I'm very happy with my choice. It is beautiful. It is much smaller, much more comfortable to read if I want to do a reread of it. And so yeah, I am adding this to my collection. In February, Tor Teen asked me to be part of an Instagram promotion, and I happily said yes because these are fantastic books. They sent me copies of the new paperback of The Deceivers by Kristen Simmons and the brand new hardcover of Scammed, book 2 in the series. I read The Deceivers last year and really enjoyed it and had already been planning on reading Scammed, so I was like, yeah, definitely. These got a cover change. I don't know if I'm in the minority, but I really like the cover change, actually. I think it's a good choice. And I read book 2 in February. I will link my February mid-month wrap-up up above if you want to check that out and hear my thoughts on it, but I really, really enjoyed this. I liked it even better than The Deceivers, and I'm really happy to have these beautiful matching editions, so thank you so much to Tor Teen. In February, I also did kind of a fun video where I let Instagram control my day. If you guys haven't yet seen the vlog from that, I'll link it up above. It was super fun to do. And during that day, I ended up purchasing a couple of books. The first one that you actually see me talk about on the vlog I picked up at Books Are Magic. This is a middle grade novel. It's called The Game Masters of Garden Place by Dennis Markle. And this just looked super fun. It was a staff recommendation of this middle grade story about a group of nerdy 6th graders who are into gaming, and it's like an adventure story, and it just sounded super fun, so I picked that up. In the evening, I ended up going to a book event where they were launching This Train Is Being Held by Ismay Williams, and so that was super fun. This is a really great YA contemporary romance that's sort of a retelling of West Side Story with Own Voices Latinx representation. I really liked it. I had read this as an e-arc and really enjoyed it, and the publisher sent me a finished copy, which I wasn't expecting and really appreciate. That was super kind of them. So I got my book signed at the event, which was really cool. Look how pretty it is. I love it. So yeah, I can't remember if I put this in my last haul. I don't think I did, but huge thank you to Abrams Books for sending me a finished copy of that. It's really beautiful. But because I went to the bookstore, I wanted to purchase something else, and I didn't show this on the vlog, but I did also purchase something else while I was at Books of Wonder. And this is actually a book that I had previously had in my collection and at some point loaned out to somebody and never got it back. So I was like, you know, it's been a couple years. I'm just gonna buy it again. This is Shadow Shaper by Daniel Jose Older. I really love this. I think the final book in the trilogy just came out. I haven't read it yet, but this is, again, Own Voices, Latinx, urban fantasy set in Brooklyn. It's YA, and it's just really, really great. So I now have this again to put on my shelves. This is what happens when you lend out books, guys. You have to be okay with it. So yeah, I ended up buying that as well. As you guys probably know, February is also the month for Valentine's Day, and my wonderful husband, who now has access to my Amazon wish list, decided to buy me 2 books off of my wish list, which was fantastic. I'm really, really happy to have these. The first one I just thought was so thoughtful. I had been talking to him about this book because I had listened to the first one on audio, really loved it, and was like, oh, I want to buy the whole series and I want to buy them in the US editions, and so he got me the first one. This is Spellslinger by Sebastian de Castell. This is actually one of my favorite books that I have read this year. It's so much fun. So much fun. These are put out by Orbit, and I really like the American covers, actually, so I'm hoping to eventually finish the series and pick up all of the American editions. He very thoughtfully got me the first one. That was really sweet of him. So I have that. Super fun, follows, oh, and I guess I should tell you what it's about. It's just like one of the most fun fantasy books that I've read in a while. It made me laugh out loud. It follows this 16-year-old boy who comes from a powerful mage family where there's a lot of parental expectations of him. Unfortunately, he has yet to have any magic and tries to con his way around it, and lots of things happen. It's really, really fun. And the other book that he got me part of me wants to just like drop everything and read this because it sounds so good. Maybe I will do that. I'm trying to be responsible and read books I'm supposed to review. But this is Hearth and Home by Rebel Carter. So I saw the author talking about this on Twitter and I was like, oh my goodness, that sounds amazing. Yes, please, I need this in my life. This is about a mail order groom. It's a historical romance novel set in America with a handsome mail order groom who is a cinnamon roll, and I love cinnamon roll male heroes. And this just sounds so fun. Also, I mean, like, can we appreciate the cover is absolutely stunning. So yeah, really excited to pick this up. That was really nice. So thanks to my husband. That was definitely a great Valentine's Day gift. Then my friends over at Penguin Teen sent me a free finished copy of a book I'm really excited for. This is The Vanishing Deep by Astrid Schultz. So thank you to Penguin Teen for sending me this. So I am most interested in the setting for this. It's kind of a post-apocalyptic, dystopian sort of YA story set in a water world where there are ruins of cities that are submerged under the water, and there's something about like people being brought back from the dead. I'm not really sure, but it sounds really intriguing, so I'm planning on reading this in March. This was again sent for Instagram promotions. I have a pretty picture over there of this book if you want to check it out. Yeah, so thank you. Looking forward to reading that one. Then I have one other finished copy that was sent to me for review that I'm really excited for. This is going to be going into a special video in March for Women's History Month. This is Noisemakers, 25 Women Who Raised Their Voices and Changed the World, a graphic collection from Kazoo. This is super cool. It's a middle grade nonfiction graphic collection about 25 women. They have 25 different women artists, graphic artists and graphic writers doing little mini biographies on them, and it's so cool. So you get like different styles of art throughout the book, which I think is really awesome, with all of these really interesting women. So thank you so much. This is by Knopf Books, but I think there was a PR agency that sent this. I'm very excited to read and review this again in March, and then you'll be seeing this in conjunction with some other things for a Women's History Month related video. So that is coming your way. Then I have a book that I really need to keep reading at all time. Like, it's one of my most anticipated books of the year, and I started it and then sort of put it down because life has been crazy, but I really want to pick this up again. This is Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. Oh guys, it's so pretty. It's an ARC. I will be getting a finished copy of this in like less than 2 weeks, but I have an ARC of it and I had planned on doing a reading vlog for it. I did start reading a little bit of it and vlogged it, and then my husband was traveling and my kids got sick, and like I didn't have like the bandwidth, and was like, let me just read lots of romance instead. So I do want to get back to this. I'm intrigued by the beginning of it. It's the first in a new series by Cassandra Clare, also set in the Shadowhunters world, and this one takes place in Edwardian England. And I know it's going to be good. So thank you, Isabella from the Feminist Bookworm, for sending this. Highly appreciate it. Then I got part of my quarterly package from Fierce Reads. I'm one of their blogger influencers, and so they sent me a box with 4 books. There are going to be more ARCs they're going to be sending individually as they're available, but 4 of them came in the initial box, so I wanted to share these with you. One of these comes out in May, and the other 3 come out in June, and they all sound pretty interesting. First up, we have The Dark In Between by Elizabeth Hribb. This one is coming out through Swoon Reads in May, and it sounds really interesting. This is kind of a dark YA romance with like angels and demons, I think. So I think that's coming back. Like, all of the paranormal stuff is coming back, guys. So it follows a 16-year-old girl who dies briefly in an accident and loses her best friend, but is quickly brought back by a medical team, and then is dealing with grief and depression, and then sees a boy angel fall from the sky, and then like I think they start to fall for each other. So I don't know, it looks like kind of a creepy thriller meets romance with angels. It sounds interesting. So that one's coming out in May. Then we have 3 June releases. First up is All Eyes on Her by Ellie Flynn. I think this one is another thriller, and it sounds pretty interesting. It says, you heard her story on the news. A girl and a boy went into the woods. The girl carried a picnic basket. The boy wore bright yellow running shoes. The girl found her way out, but the boy never did. You heard it was a tragedy, that the boy had his entire life in front of him. You've been following her online. After all, there are plenty of holes in her story, but there are holes in everyone else's versions too. Now you're going to learn all sides of the story, from the people who didn't know and love her, from those who know her but wish they didn't, because everybody thinks they know a girl better than she knows herself. What do you think is the truth? Normally I don't read like a full synopsis, but this sounds really fascinating, and I like the themes that it's playing with here. I think this could be really, really interesting. And then we have two books where I'm kind of obsessed with the covers. First up, we have Six Angry Girls by Adrian Kistner. Look at that cover, guys. It's just like kind of perfect. And it sounds kind of hilarious. It's about girls who knit and fight the patriarchy in high school. I just like, it looks really fun, so I'm really excited to check that one out. And then the final book that came in that package from Fierce Reads is another June release that has been very, very buzzed about. This is Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. This is an own voices, queer, Latinx, ghost story with romance. It's by a non-binary author, and it follows a boy who is a brujo, or a Latinx witch, who brings back the ghost of someone who was murdered, and then I think there's a romance that develops between him and the ghost. So yeah, it sounds really interesting. The cover is stunning, and there's been a lot of buzz about this book, so I'm very curious to pick it up. And then finally, I have three books that I picked up at a event that I went to that was pretty cool. Berkeley Romance collaborated with the local Intercontinental Hotel to put on this book club event, and I saw it on Twitter and was like, oh, that sounds super fun, let me buy tickets. And so I went. It was really nice. I met up with Kristen from Super Space Chick and Alexa from Alexa Loves Books there, and they had like drinks and appetizers, and it was super fun. And they had three authors who talked on the panel, and then we got a book from each of them and they signed them, so it was pretty cool. I actually do own a copy of one of them, so I might use the second one as like a giveaway or a gift or something, because it's one that I love. This is a lot of why I went. But they had Lyssa K. Adams there, author of the Bromance Book Club, which I loved, so I brought my copy from home to get signed, and then I have an additional copy, so I have to figure out what I want to do with that. But this is such a good romance novel. It's so much fun. It follows a group of guys who secretly read romance novels in order to better understand the women in their lives, and like, it's everything. I love it so much. They also had Andy J. Christopher, author of Not the Girl You Marry. This is a adult contemporary romance that's supposed to be like a flipped How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. So this did not work super well for me. I had an e-arc of it and ended up DNFing it, so, but like, you know, your mileage on this may vary, and she seems really lovely. And then the third one is a book I've heard really great things about and don't own and haven't had a chance to read, so it was kind of cool to hear from the author and get my own copy of it. This is The Next Year in Havana by Chanel Cleeton. This is a historical fiction book that has been very, very buzzed about, and it's got some romance in it. But yeah, I've heard really good things, so I'm excited to pick that up. So yeah. All three of those authors were at the event, which was super cool, so thank you to Berkeley for hosting that. Man, I'm tired. Now I need some coffee. But there you go. Those are all of the books that I hauled in February. There's a lot of things I'm really excited about. I bought a little bit more than I did last month, but like a lot of it was surrounding events and videos and stuff, so like I feel like I'm doing pretty good. I'm trying really hard this year to rein in my spending and only purchase books that I really want in my collection. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. There's a lot of exciting upcoming releases. Hopefully this is interesting for you guys as well, so that you can kind of get your eyes on some of the new releases that are upcoming that you might want to check out. Talk to me in the comments down below. Let me know any of your thoughts or feelings on any of the books. And for your question of the day, have you ever gone to a book event and met an author, and what was that experience like? I remember when I first started going to them, I was so nervous and like tongue-tied and didn't know what to say. I've gotten for sure more comfortable with it as time has gone on, but it's still really fun, especially getting to meet authors of books that you really love. It's fun. So let me know any of your experiences in the comments down below. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.